Does this look familiar? Honestly, having them side by side, talk about self-conscious. So this beast behind me, El Jefe, might be familiar to you guys because it's Motobilt, the beautiful YJ that they've been working meticulously on, that we all saw debut at Trail Hero. The thing is even better in person. Stay tuned for the walk around. We're here at headquarters. Dan and the team invited us out. It's gonna be an awesome day, full of content for you guys, a lot more technical. I won't be doing so much talking because this is way out of my circle of knowledge, obviously. So we have Bender, he's gonna be the lead guy on this. He's gonna be fixing fuel cell issues that we're having. So guys, this is not a blame game. Everyone has a different way of doing things. So since both of our fuel cells are Motobilt fuel cells, we're gonna be following the guidelines from the people that manufactured them. So this is a quick before. We have a lot going on here, guys. This has already changed a little bit from when Tyler built it for us. Not anything that he did. Like I said, Marlon just wanted clear tubing, so he changed that at home. But we're still having gas return. We're having a couple issues. We're hoping that this trip out here is going to solve all that for us. The Motobilt guys are in love with what Tyler did custom to their fender flares. So these are actually front JK fender flares. Tyler flipped them, cut them, welded them together, sanded it, and then this is what you get. So they're crazy about it. They're gonna go ahead and take a look at his masterpiece and see what they can come out with for the JK market. While the guys are taking a look at Marlon's Jeep, we'll walk over there in a second. I'm assuming that a lot of you guys saw the post that Marlon and I made about a couple weeks ago, or I was driving home from Arkansas from a women's ride that I participated in, and I started smelling something burning. And to make a long story short, it wasn't someone else, it was me. By the time I got the truck and trailer safely pulled over, there was smoke in the cab. It was up to my knees. It was incredibly scary. I was by myself since it was a women's ride. Marlon was at home with the rest of our pets. I had our puppy. It was, I mean, everything happened so fast, but thank God I had the help of my friends that were in another truck. Maggie and Rachel, big shout out to them. Thank you for everything, ladies. Yeah, it was crazy. If you guys want to hear more about it, hear about this situation, you know, let me know in the comments below. I'll make a clip, I'll make something short and just kind of explain the entire process, because it was definitely something that, wow, I have no words. I still think I'm pretty much in shock, still kind of dealing with the insurance aspect of things. So yeah, I won't bore you guys with the details. Unless you want, I'll drop a direct link to that fire story, went up in flames kind of thing. Kind of tease you a little bit here with this beauty. You guys weren't at Trail Hero and haven't been watching Motobilt's content on this build, go ahead on over to their YouTube, to their website, because this thing is goals. You take a look at something like this, and then you go to Jeepy, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I love Jeepy, and he's the most beautiful Jeep in my eyes, but come on. We got breakfast, and wow. Water, of course. Red Bull infusion. That's Marlon's. And mine. So the project begins. They're gonna start with Marlon since it needs a little bit more work to figure this out. So this is a fuel cell, obviously a Motobilt fuel cell, and it goes behind the axle. So with the 4 doors, they have a lot more room. But the reason that he had to go to a fuel cell is because he 4-linked the rear, right? That arm right there would be going through where the stock gas tank would live, which is in there. Honestly, one of my favorite parts of being here right now and watching this firsthand is that these guys engineered it. They engineered the product. They figured out how it would work. They were the ones to build it first for their JL. So that's really neat to be able to see the method behind the madness, right? So it's gonna be really cool to be able to just see the application, see it worked out in the Jeep and from before and after. So while the Jeep is up on the lift, Bender the mad scientist is taking a look at everything, doing a bolt check, making sure that everything is as it should be. We've definitely, Marlon, Lord knows, he's wheeled this hard. Exhibit A, he needs a new drive shaft. Look at that. That's not, he's at full droop. So we just need this to last for this weekend, and then we will get him a new drive shaft. I'm pretty short, but look, there's just enough room for 5'3" to be able to walk through. So let's take this time to appreciate the carnage that Marlon has put the JL through. Look at, do you guys see this? It's like, it looks like a baguette. It's flat versus, you know, what it's supposed to look like. Baguette, what it's supposed to look like. Looks like a Subway foot-long sandwich. Add that to the cart for sure. Can you see that? Oh yeah, you can totally see that. That must have been one heck of a hit. So what's the prognosis? Are we just doing, we're just checking it out right now?
Taking it completely apart and completely rebuilding it, making sure everything's put together properly, since we're the last ones working on it.
So I'm too short, so I had to get on the welding table. So let's see what we got, guys. So they removed the seal. They're getting it all nice and clean. Obviously this came out of Marlon's JL, so you can see it's definitely been put through good use. They're gonna add another rollover. What was it, a rollover valve?
Yeah, it's a brass rollover valve. So it vents this way. There's a little steel ball, so when it's in this position, it can still vent. It vents through the side, but in the case of a rollover, anything over 90, the little ball rolls in and blocks it off. So there's no spillage on a rollover.
Engineering 101.
Yeah, now there's another thing called it, like on a stock YJ, I saw on that one, the stock one will use a plastic piece, so it's kind of like a float. So it's actually a rollover valve, so it's still a rollover, and if there's fuel that comes up in it, it'll float that and it's supposed to shut it off. The problem with that is it's not really effective. They use them in stock vehicles because you have to have it. What we do is because we're at such extreme angles and we're not completely rolled over. The problem is with that little float, say you're at a 75-degree angle, there's resistance now on that float. It doesn't just float up nice and easy, it's out of sight, so it kind of sticks. So there's a fault in those. So what we do is we run a big loop all the way around the tank and then down and vent out the bottom. And then in case the juice, when we roll over, the weight will shut the fuel off.
It's in its new home.
And then you won't be able to. So all this is to equalize both sides of the tank while you're.
So we're talking to the guys here, and so basically they said that they really like to run as many items in their race vehicles. They have racing backgrounds that you could get at Napa or in auto parts. Custom stuff is great, but when you're in the middle of nowhere and you don't have one of everything, you know, a whole other B car, it helps to be able to go to one of these car parts or AutoZone, Napa, O'Reilly's, and just be able to get you what you need so you can get back on the trail or off the trail. So this is really the magic, you would say. This is the money maker right here. The loop-de-loop, so simple, but it's such a missed step or not known.
They're not known. You see some of the guys run the discriminator valve, a big discriminator valve.
We have a big discriminator valve.
They're expensive and they're nice.
I agree.
But they have like an inch or inch and a quarter inlet. The issue in the one you would run a discriminator valve, you are pressurizing your fuel system, say like in a Class 1 car or a trophy truck or even an Ultra 4 where you're using a big dump where you need that much vent. We're filling it with a regular gas can or a regular gas nozzle. So regular 1/4 inch or 5/16 line, there's more than enough vent where you're not pumping back out. And this loop, so little history, no trophy truck, no Class 1, no Ultra 4, there's no race class out there that mandates running a discriminator valve. Discriminator valve is just a fancy rollover valve. It's got a ping pong ball in there that floats if the fuel gets
Right, some of them are clear and you can see the ball, and some like ours aren't.
$12 for the hose. There's always air in the top side of the line, so it'll run all the way around. An old sport car, you would run it up over the cage and back down, so it's a complete loop, and then dump it out the bottom. The thing with a regular Jeep, because we're not running like an old sport car, where you got a dry sump system, or you can run on your side for a while. This is going to run out of oil pressure long before you run out of fuel. So
I don't know. Have you seen Marlon drive?
So the thing is, we'll always have air the highest side of this thing, so it can't. And anytime you return to level, any, say, little residual fuel that may get picked up in this will drain right back into the tank again. So you're not going to have a leak issue now. And then you can plumb this back into the Jeep.
Sweet. Empires have been made with zip ties. This is a man's best friend. All right, tank is going to be put back into his home.
Got it? Yep.
Definitely makes life easier when you have all the proper tools.
Yeah, crazy. But you know, some of the most fondest memories, you ask anybody who's here, is working out of their garage with their buddies. Like
after the fact, not while it's currently happening.
when it's happening.
You're cursing everyone's mother, like. So unlike mine, this is where Marlon's is. So mine lives, you guys know, behind my seats. This, one of the only advantages of having a 4-door is just a tad bit more room for the fuel cell underneath the vehicle. And now Dan has El Jefe out. We're gonna watch him rip it. All right, he's gonna go again. Let her eat, or let him eat. Marlon's turn. Hate to see him go, but love to watch him leave. Marlon's gonna try to get Dan to do donuts. I don't think he's gonna be successful.
No. You never know.
So Marlon's hat flew off. It's my turn now, guys. Marlon lost his hat. I don't have a hat, but I don't know, should I take these off? No, we need glasses, right? Okay, here we go. Was amazing. So they're finishing up Marlon's. It started perfectly, no issues, thank goodness. After they're done with the inner fenders, putting those back on, they're gonna go ahead and drive around for a little bit and just kind of make sure that everything is as it should. No more fuel dumping. Now it's GP's turn. I got a new hat, courtesy of Hunter, thank you. The guys have been working diligently here, so they did the loop-de-loop like we saw in Marlon's, and then take it away. What's going on in it?
We removed the clear line filters that we had on here.
That one.
Yeah, that goes on there. So we added 1/2-inch fuel line, put a T here onto this one, routing it all the way around. We're gonna come up over here, and then on the back side, we'll run the line on the back side over here, so it's out of sight.
Why is this the standard for racing?
Because if you just take this and go straight out there, if this roller valve doesn't catch properly, it's gonna leak.
Right.
This is an idiot-proof way that it's not gonna leak. There's no way this is physically gonna leak once I go completely around the tank and back over.
No matter if I'm pitched that way, if I'm pitched driver.
No leak out of here.
Right. We already got, I was told why I leak fuel out of here is because this cap is vented. And so what I have to do is get a non-vented cap. And so that way it won't leak. So I don't know if you guys remember what that looked like, but Bender went ahead and removed both front inner fenders and then gave Marlon a fresh, sick cut.
Look on the other side.
Yeah, the ones that Marlon did before, yikes. That's a work of art. Here's the before. Yikes, Marlon, it looks like...
Hey, that looks like a house. It's
No,
square.
it's good.
That's like the first drawing that a kid does, and then the parents put it on the fridge, and then when you go to your friend's house and you see it, you're like, you have that on the fridge? Like, I don't know. Marlon Bender. Marlon Bender. Are you proud of your painting?
I did it.
Yikes. Okay, we're back in business. My first monster of the day. Don't ask me how many Red Bulls, but here we go. We're operating in only a sterile environment. Only the best. This is on me, guys, not them. I brought them an absolute dumpster fire, and they're doing the best that they can. Marlon's Jeep is getting some much needed TLC, so he ripped that off God knows when. They're making bigger holes because the rivets were torn off from a tree, or the whole fender was actually torn off by a tree. So they're gonna widen the holes and then install that back. Look how dark it's getting. It is 4:43. GP is up on the lift, doing a bolt check, getting ready. A couple loose bolts, but nothing too crazy yet. Definitely a lot better than Marlon's. Guys, that's a wrap. I gotta bend down so I can get Kurt in the video. The guys put in a crazy day's work. Thank you so much, and we're gonna try these rigs out in the weekend tomorrow at Stony Lonesome, and let's see, let's put it to the test. Bye guys.